Hi guys, good morning. Good morning. What a lovely day. Welcome to our first focus activity for this week. We're going to be starting off with 10 to 13. 10 to 13, and we're going to be talking about crime. But before we get into that, okay, I'm just going to wait for some of you to join us. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes to introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from and how are you doing this morning. Okay, so all right, I'll start off with myself. Today we have just one teacher doing the focus activity. I know that you're used to seeing two teachers, but this morning it's going to be just me. So I would like to know where you're from. I know that there are some of you watching us from France and Spain and, of course, different cities all around Italy. So please do write your name and where you're watching us from and anything you'd like to share with us this morning, okay, about the beautiful weather, about everything. All right, so my name is Angela. And I am a teacher at my English school in Meravigli here in Milan. And I've been teaching for the past 2.5 years or so. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am from a little country called Nepal, which is in Asia, as you probably know. I wonder if any of you have been there. Okay, so that's where I'm from. I have an Italian husband, and that's why I live here in Milan. All right, so yeah, let us know. Let me know where you're from. Okay, write down your name. And I would love you to participate in this webinar. And we can talk about crime in our cities, in the world, and different types of crimes. All right, so go ahead. The connection's a little slow, so I'll take it slowly, okay? Yep. Okay, so meanwhile, let me just write my name down. Angela, I am 44 years old from Nepal. I think I'm 44. I don't know. I often forget how old I am. Yes. Hi. Hi, Federico. From Rome. Welcome. Welcome, Federico. Don't forget to ask me a lot of questions, okay? I need this webinar to keep going. Good. How's the weather in Rome today, Federico? Come on, guys. The other guys watching, do introduce yourself. All right. So, meanwhile, let's go on. We're going to be talking about crime, as I told you earlier. So we're also going to be focusing on a few things like talking about crime, the justice system, crime and punishment vocabulary. Okay. So we're going to be talking about that. Oh, really? Federico says that the weather is not really good. It's raining in Rome. Oh, interesting. Because here in Milan, it's really nice and sunny and spring has really set in and it's just really beautiful. A nice day to go out and walk around, but we won't be doing that. We're still under lockdown. So no, we'll enjoy it from our balconies. Okay, great. So nice. Tell me, is there a lot of crime in your city, in your country? Okay, guys, all of you who are watching, please do answer. Don't be shy. We can, we got to improve your English by trying our best to talk and communicate and write. Okay, so any questions you have in the middle, please feel free to ask. So, is there a lot of crime in your city, in your country? What do you think? Okay, what do you think? Is crime on the rise globally? Are there more reports of crime in the news? Are we becoming an increasingly violent society? What is your take on that? What do you think, Federico, since you are the only active person? What do you think? And of course, everybody else who wants to join in and comment, please do so. All right. Let me start off with what I think, okay? While you're typing your comments, I'm going to talk about what I think. Since I live in Milan, I really don't know. Although people I've talked to say that they have had some break-ins, you know, especially during the holidays and so on. But fortunately, touch wood, I haven't experienced anything of that sort. Okay, what about you guys? Come on, guys, you need to participate. What do you say? Okay, so let us know about that. Have you had any encounter with a criminal? Have you had any experience? Do let us know. Okay. Oh, great. Thank you, Federico. He's been... Unfortunately, in Rome, there are lots of crimes, and I think in general in Italy, there are some problems about that. However, I think that Italy is not the country with the biggest problem about crime. Very good. Nice. Good job. That's a nice paragraph you've written there. So, unfortunately, okay, yes, Federico says that there is a lot of crime in Rome. And in general in Italy, there are problems regarding crime. However, he thinks that Italy is not the only country that suffers from this sort of problem. I think it's a worldwide problem, is what Federico is trying to say. Okay, very good, Federico. Thank you. Good answer. All right. What have you heard in the news? Anything about crime that you've heard lately? Can you write to us? Federico, I'm counting on you because you're the only one who's actually active here. And of course, I know that there are some of you who are watching because I can see that, but you are not participating. So please do participate, okay? All right, think about that. Oh, Elisa, that's nice. Oh no. So Elisa says, I had a bad experience because 3 years ago, some burglars tried to enter my house. Oh no. And what happened after that, Elisa? Can you elaborate? I'm sorry that you had this experience, but what I understand is that they tried to enter your house, but maybe they failed to enter. They failed in their attempt to enter your house. I hope that's the case. Can you elaborate? Let us know. Okay. What about you, Federico? Have you had any experience of this sort? Can you write to us and let us know? Okay, so while you're writing about that, writing down your experiences, I'm going to tell you about a little story of about a friend of mine. You know, something that happened in Milan many years ago. I was a flight attendant for an airline called Qatar for 14 years. So I had a lot of colleagues who would fly here to Milan. And, you know, we had a layover here in Milan, in Rome, and so on. But once in Milan, I had like 2 colleagues who were walking around the city, doing some sightseeing. And a guy came up to them in a little scooty and asked them if they wanted to buy a camera and a mobile phone. Very, you know, in those days, that was the latest technology, you know. So so they had to look at it, and the guy said, look, I'll give it to you for very cheap, you know. Maybe he said something like 300 euros for a phone and a mobile, mobile phone and a camera, very, very sophisticated camera. And my friends, they didn't really want to buy it, but, you know, he kept going after them and, you know, things like that. So my friend randomly said, okay, I'll give you 100 euros for both of them. And he said no. He went away. And before that, of course, they had looked at the camera and the phone. And then, okay, I'll get back to Elisa's story, okay? Let me finish mine. And so then the guy, he came back in his scooty and said, okay, fine. You can give me 100 euros and you can take the camera and the mobile phone. And so and he said, can you give it to me fast, because the police might come and so on. So my friend gave him the 100 euros, and he gave them the camera and the mobile phone. And so my friends, they kept on walking, and then later when they reached the hotel, they opened the bag, and there were stones inside. He'd already removed the camera and the phone. So yeah, so funny. It was a very weird experience. They laughed a lot. Yeah. Okay, so Elisa says, I started shouting and I called the police. So they couldn't come in. They covered surveillance cameras and they escaped. Oh, wow. Oh, good thing that you saw them. Good thing you saw them, Elisa, and you were able to call the police and so on. And how did they cover the surveillance cameras? Did they use foam? Did they use I don't know, any other material? Okay, let me know. Federico says, here where I live in the countryside of Rome, during the summer, there are many thieves. Okay, so very nice. Thief is plural, and then you go, and then I'm just going to give you the spelling of thieves in plural. Thieves that go around and try to enter into the houses. Ah, I see. Ah, I see. Okay, so they probably used a scotch. Okay, scotch or sellotape. All right, so nice. Let me write down sellotape also for you. I know that a lot of people use the word scotch for sellotape, but scotch is, I think it's you can use it, but you would more like associate it with a brand of sellotape. Okay. All right. So nice. Very, very good. Good stories. Unfortunately, it's not very nice stories, but good overall English stories. Okay. My husband is also from somewhere near Rome. He lives in, he was born in a little place called Capalbio. Do you know Capalbio? Yeah, it's near Orbetello. Yeah, so we go there in the summer because they have very beautiful beaches there, and it's really nice. It's quite safe. I haven't heard of any problems there as of now. Touch wood, like how you guys say touch iron. Okay, we say touch wood. Yeah, in English. Okay, so that it's for good luck or whatever. That's how we do. That's how we say. All right. Okay, so going on to the next question. Are there more reports of crime in the news? Have you heard of any news, related to crime? The last news I heard was the theft of the Van Gogh painting in, I think it was Amsterdam, from a museum in Amsterdam during the lockdown, right? So that's the one I heard about. Have you guys heard of anything else? Let me know. Okay. I don't know how they get into the museum. I mean, it sounds like a movie to me. It's not easy, to be stealing artwork from heavily guarded museums. I'm sure they have surveillance cameras and sensors and so on. I don't know how they do it. It's really strange. Oh, good, Federico. Recently, I heard only about the fin that the police is doing. Ah, okay. So recently I've heard only about what the police are doing to those who go out without a good reason. Okay, yep. People going out and without a reason. I recently also saw a big party on a rooftop in Italy, somewhere, maybe in the south of Italy. And, and we have to be so careful about the virus being spread. So I think the police have a hard job trying to contain certain elements in our society, unfortunately. Yes, Elisa, I heard about the crime committed by the prisoners during the lockdown. They tried to rebel because they can't meet their relatives. Oh, yes, that's true. I heard about that too. I heard about that. Yes. Okay. So Federico, you want to okay. Now I get it, Federico. I get it. This is what you mean. A fine. Yeah. So I got, fin, in English, a fin, the spelling that you wrote, Fin, is, what is on the fish, the fish, they use their fins to navigate in the water. Okay, so it completely put me off track, but now I understand what you mean. You're right. Okay, so yeah, so the police, they fine people who are out and about without a good reason. Yep. Yes, that's true. Yeah, going back to Elisa's story about the crime committed by prisoners during the lockdown. Yes, yes, it's like, it's very sad, but did they also have a coronavirus in the prisons? I think this is what I heard, right? And they tried to rebel because they couldn't meet their relatives. Okay, so yeah, that's true. And that's not really nice because it shouldn't be that way. Yep. And you're welcome, Federico. Federico says, thank you. You're most welcome. It's my job. All right. So are we becoming an increasingly violent society? Yes. Are we becoming an increasingly violent society? What do you think? In Italy, when the people go out onto the streets, when during the lockdown, do the police beat the people? I don't think so, right? It's more like fines, as Federico said, fines of money. But in various places like India and so on, the police are beating the people, beating as in, hitting the people and on the streets. So a lot of things to think about during the lockdown. Unfortunately, I was reading about some of the families that in India, the police beat them to go back to their houses, but they didn't have houses to go to, so some of them, they just climbed on top of trees and they stayed on the on the branches of the trees. So it's really sad because the world is going through so much pain and suffering at this moment. And there are some of us, going around breaking the rules and, being a problem in society, as per se. Okay, so there are things. What do you think, guys? Are we becoming an increasingly violent society? Okay, great. Federico says, I don't know. I like thinking the opposite, but like you said, in many other countries, the law system is different. Yes. Yes, it's really different from country to country. Yes, it's really very different. I have seen a lot of, I have seen a good part of the world, and I have noticed that there are many different laws and different ways of, fining people. As Federico has used that word, very nice. Let me give you some of the extremes. Like, for example, in Singapore, you cannot chew gum, a chewing gum. Yeah, you can't do that in Singapore. You can't throw a piece of paper on the ground because you can get fined if someone sees you. Nobody does that. Chewing gum is you get a fine as well for chewing gum. In Thailand, you don't really talk bad about your royal family. That is considered a no-no as well. Okay, so yeah, there are really many different things. Lisa says it's for this reason that people continue doing what they want. We use just fines, but who has nothing to lose? He prefers risking to gain something. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you make a lot of sense there. I understand what you're trying to say. It's that people, they just do what they want because here we use fines. And people who have nothing to lose, they just go around doing what they want, right? Okay, so ever since the lockdown started, guys, what have you been doing? This is besides crime. Okay, we'll go back to crime again. But what have you been doing to keep yourselves busy? Okay, so I know that there are only two of you participating today, but Federico and Elisa. So obviously the question is going towards you. What have you been doing to keep yourselves busy? All right. While you answer that, I will just go on to this page. Okay. While you're writing your answers, I'm going to be just talking about what I've been doing. I've been eating a lot, okay, for starters. I've been eating a lot. I've been cooking a lot. And I have been doing a lot of these webinars. So this is really keeping me busy. And I also do some workout with my instructor via Zoom. So Zoom has been playing a very important part in my life right now. I also have a little daughter. So yes, she keeps me very busy. She's 4 years old. So every 20 minutes she needs a snack, like every 20 minutes. I don't know how the real life is, in school, what she does, but okay, great. Federico says, I'm doing the lessons of the university and I study, but in the free time I'm watching many movies and I'm doing many work. I'm doing a lot of work at home, because remember, work you can't count, so you won't use many, okay, uncountable. So I'm doing a lot of work at home. Great. Very good. I've been watching a lot of movies and a lot of series too. Okay, tell me the ones that you've been watching. Okay, Elisa says, I'm studying, practicing gym exercises, yoga, watching films, but neither coronavirus pushes. So even the coronavirus doesn't push you towards cooking. Okay, I understand. Yeah, some of us, we can't be pushed into cooking. All right, understand. Okay, good. So practicing gym exercises, very nice. Practicing yoga, doing exercises, or exercising is also a verb. You can also use that. Okay, so these are the things you could be doing. What films have you guys been watching? Have you watched and are you watching them in English or in Italian? Okay. Have you watched some of the students I've spoken to? They all love this TV series called Money Heist. Okay, in English you call it Money Heist. It's a Spanish series, Casa de Papel, I think it's called in Italian and Spanish. Okay, so that one I watched that. I also watched The Caliphate, which is very nice. I love documentaries, so I've basically watched most of the documentaries that Netflix has, and another one that really was like everybody was talking about was the Tiger King. So I had to watch it, but it didn't really, it's not really my thing, you know. I didn't really like it so much, but I mean, it was entertaining. You see a man with tigers and stuff. Yep. So yeah, I watched that. And what else? Yeah, those are the things that I've been doing. Okay, great. So while you're writing down your answers, okay, so let's see. Yes. Oh, Casa de Papel. Okay, great. Nice. Good. Did you like it? I'm sure you did. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this, and then we're going to look at the words, okay, that we're using in this text. Which word is used in the text in 3 different ways as various parts of speech? So we're looking at verbs, adjectives, nouns, okay, in that way. So police are searching. Okay, before that, let's look at Elisa's. I watched the trilogy of Dan Brown. Ah, Dan Brown. Yes, I know. Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and Inferno with Tom Hanks. Okay, great. I've read those books in English. So yeah, very, very nice. Oh, good. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so let me go back to this text. Okay, before we go back to the text, Federico is also written in, so let me read Federico's stuff. I'm watching Tales of the Loop on Amazon Video. It's nice. Okay, good. I watched the first season of La Casa de Papel, but I heard the last seasons aren't so good. Ah. Yes, that's what everyone says, right? But I liked it. Also, the 4th season was quite nice. I liked it. And I liked it even more because, you know, they show places where I've been to, like Palawan and in the Philippines. Then they show Ubud, Bali, in Indonesia. It was very nice. I really liked it a lot. Yeah. And the story was nice too. I mean, you can see that they tried to prolong the series because it was so popular, but not bad at all. I really liked it. Yeah, it was nice, very entertaining and light. For me, it was light. Okay, all right, good. So now we're going to look into that text. Police are searching for a homicide suspect in Lancaster tonight. Residents are warned to stay in their homes and contact the authorities if they spot anyone suspicious. The convict is suspected of killing the driver of a car, which he stole to use as a getaway vehicle for a robbery. He was released on parole just last week. Okay, so very, very nice. Very, very nice. Text. Okay, so lots of vocabulary that we can look into. All right, so the question here is, which word is used in the text in 3 different ways as various parts of the speech? Now, Elisa, Federico, and anybody else who's watching and would like to join, please tell me, okay, which is the word that has been used so differently in this text? Can you spot it? I'll give you some time to think about it, okay? Because I know the connection also is not the best. So. Oh, very good. Elisa, well done, well done. Well done, very good, yes. So, as Elisa has so wonderfully pointed out, it is the word suspect, suspicious, suspected. Very nice. Now, Elisa, can you explain what it means? What does suspect mean in this text? Okay, is it used as a? How is it used? Okay. Also, Federico, join in, and obviously everybody else who's watching. Very nice, Elisa. Well done. Okay. So we can talk about this. Great, Federico, very good. Suspect is the person that the police think is the murderer. Okay, he can be the suspect. Very nice. Perfect. Federico, well done. Okay. The police who they have it in the back of their minds that, okay, this could be a potential criminal. Okay, so suspect, noun. Suspicious, adjective. Fantastic. Suspected, past participle. Well done, Elisa. This is what I was looking for, and you've just hit the nail on the head. Yeah, in English we say hit the nail on the head. Just writing it down for you guys. It's a nice way of expressing yourselves. You can use this in your everyday conversations. Okay, very good. And Federico, very good. You were also able to bring that out. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next page. We go here. Maybe we can try and put these crime. No, it's going to be a little bit difficult because I have to go in between pages, and this can be a more interesting exercise for us to do. Okay, all right, so guys, look at this. I'm going to enlarge it, the screen. All right, so look at this. I'm going to read it out, and you just need to match the words to the definition. Okay, so one, you can just say one and a, or two and a, okay, depending. All right, in your answers. So crime, match the words to the definition. Suspect, convict, guilty, innocent, parole, authorities. Okay, and the next column is blameless, police, having committed a crime, having served a prison sentence, a person thought to be guilty, conditional release from prison. Okay, so I need you to match the words to the definition. And Federico said, suspect is a person thought to be guilty. Fantastic. Good job. Very good. Okay. And anybody else? Give us the answers. Convict or convict. Okay. Convict. That's it. Okay. Waiting for you guys. I think it's just the connection that's a little slow. Okay, so I will give you a convict is somebody who has served a prison sentence. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right. And guilty, somebody who's committed a crime, okay, and is guilty. Likewise, innocent is somebody who is blameless, who is not the culprit, who's not the person who's committed the crime. Parole, conditional release from prison. Okay, like you're released from prison on parole. You need to go see a parole officer. Okay, every week or every day in some places. Okay, depending on the crime and the condition. Authorities in this case would be the police, right? Yeah, very nice. So 3C, he said, very nice. 4A, Federico says, very nice. So basically you got it all right. Yeah, good job, guys. Both of you, Federico and Elisa, good job. Great. Elisa, where are you from? I know that Federico is from Rome. Where do you live? Okay. And how is the weather where you are? Just to change the topic from crime. Crime is too heavy. Okay, let us know. Federico says that in Rome it's raining. It's hard to imagine rain when it's so sunny here in Milan. But yeah, I love Rome. I love Rome. Rome is just so beautiful. Okay, so this is no problem for you. All right, so let's go here. Okay, so I want you to fill up the gaps, okay? Let me read that. Fill in the gaps with the correct form of these words. Oh, Florence, so nice. Lucky you, Elisa. Florence is so beautiful. All of Italy is so beautiful. This is such a blessed country. All right, so the justice system, okay? We're going to fill up the gaps or the blanks, okay, with the correct form of these words. So I'll just quickly read it for you, just for the pronunciation. Okay, the judge, ball or bail, okay? Let me read it on my screen. So judge, bail, evidence, arrest, convict or convict, okay? Jury, attorney, counsel, charge, interrogate, release, defendant, prosecution, okay? So you'll need to fill up these. After a suspect has been blank and blank by the police, the district or city blank can choose to blank the suspect with the crime if there is enough blank. Okay, so I want you to fill up these blanks. Okay, so bad weather today, but in the latest days, but in the last days, okay, last few days, I could sunbathe in my garden. Okay, I could, in this case, to sunbathe is a verb. Okay, so you can use the verb and say, I could sunbathe in my garden. Okay, lucky you. So nice. I love sunbathing. It's amazing. Right. Okay, so after a suspect has been, Federico says, arrested and interrogated by the police, the district or city council can, okay, great. Let me fill up these with, okay. Did you see that? City attorney can choose to charge the suspect with the crime if there is enough, I'm sure you know it, is evidence, okay. Okay. All right, arrested and interrogated. You were correct. Just I understand, Federico. I understand why you wrote counsel. Okay, I understand that. I will explain that to you in a while. Okay. Federico also says, okay, for release, can choose to charge the suspect with the crime if there is enough evidence. Okay, so can choose to release the suspect with the crime. Can release. If you use the word release over here instead of with, it should be from. Okay, so that's why we have charge. Okay. All right, good. But good job. Yeah, evidence, you're correct. Okay. The suspect can hire a defendant. Okay, let me check that. Suspect can hire a counsel. Okay, like I said. The accused in a criminal proceeding is called the defendant, and the accuser is called the prosecution. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to give these to you, and then we're going to read it so that we can understand these words better. All right. So, great. after a suspect has been arrested and interrogated, if you don't understand some of the vocabulary, please ask me so I can explain it to you better, okay? So now we're talking about the suspect who has been arrested and interrogated by the police, the district or city attorney, okay? So you have like a lawyer can choose to charge the suspect. Charge is to have a case against this suspect with the crime if there is enough evidence, okay? So as you know, if it looks like he is guilty of something, yes, they can charge him. The suspect can hire a counsel, okay? So he can hire his defense. In his defense, he can hire a lawyer, or if he can't afford one, if he doesn't have enough money, a public defender will be assigned to represent him, okay? I don't know if it's the same in Italy, but probably the same, okay, because of, you know, how the law works in most of the Western countries. Okay, so the accused in a criminal proceeding is called the defendant. So the person who has maybe committed the crime is the defendant, and the accuser is called the prosecution. At the first hearing, the suspect can be released on bail, okay? So if you pay and the fine, then you can be released on bail. If there's a low flight risk, if you know that if he will not run away to another country or so on, okay? When the case is tried, the jury, okay, so you remember there's a judge and there's a jury, okay? Jury are the people who are in contact with the judge, who are going to be also deciding whether he's guilty or not, will determine if the defendant is innocent or guilty. If he is convicted, if he's found guilty, the judge will decide the sentence. Bail. Good question, Elisa. So bail. Let's think of it as a fine, okay? Like money that you will pay, okay? It's, I would say, if I have to talk about it in layman's terms, it would be money that you will post bail, like you will give a certain amount of money to be to stay out of a jail, a fine, let's say. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. All right. And Elisa also says that it's the same in Italy. All right, nice. Yeah, I thought so too. Very, very similar. But I think in Italy, you can't really sue for very small reasons, not like in the US, where you can, oh, I fell down in front of your house, now I'm going to sue you because, you know, you didn't clear the ice from the driveway and so on. Okay. All right, great. Great. Thank you, Elisa. All right, let's move on then. All right, let's go here. Okay, yes, a few questions that we can talk about. How is the justice system in your country different from the process previously described? Do suspects have the right to remain silent if they do choose? Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good question. Does a jury or a judge determine the verdict? What aspects of your justice system do you think are unique? Any of these questions, if you can answer them, will be great. Okay. Anything unique that you think? I read somewhere that in Italy, if a person is hungry and steals food, he will not be charged for the crime. I'm sure there are loopholes, but yeah, just the basic law, you know, says something like that. Is it true? Any of you know? Are you any of you law students? Yeah. Okay. Any of them? Answer the questions. If I have to talk about law in the many places that I've lived in, like for example, I was born in Nepal, but I really don't know much about Nepal because I've lived in many different countries throughout my life. I lived in Qatar for a very long time, 14 years. And I know that the laws there are very strict in Qatar. Yeah, so yeah, we never had, I never thought of breaking the law at any point of time. We had so many rules in our own institute, let's say in our own airline that I worked for, that it was difficult to even imagine breaking any rules. Number one, I think, is similar, very good, Federico, than the one we described earlier. Okay, so earlier, yeah, because okay, if I think of other countries, here there isn't the death for particular cases. Okay, the death sentence, you mean? Okay, good. And in other countries, maybe yes. Oh, I did. So Italy doesn't have the death sentence. I imagine. Okay, maybe because it's a very Catholic country. Maybe I don't know. Very nice. Elisa says the suspected to go to the prison has to receive 3 convicts. Okay, so 3 convictions. Okay, so very interesting, Elisa. Very nice. Good. So the processes are slow. So the process is slow. Okay, in general. Okay, the process is slow. I understand. Okay, so you have to have 3 strikes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 strikes, and then you're down for prison time. I understand. Okay, very nice. But I think for more like murder and so on, you would definitely go to prison, right? Okay, for the more hardcore crimes. All right, so just quickly before, because we're running short of time, I wanted to look at this. So, so you can understand a few of these things, okay? All right, so just to look at the justice system, okay? So it's actually an exercise, but it's also a nice way to understand what the situation is. Okay, so homicide is unlawful killing of a person by another. So homicide. Okay, so you have homicide detectives, etc. First degree murder, premeditated with express malicious intent. So very, very bad. You have been planning this murder. Second degree murder with implied malicious intent. So yes, you wanted to kill that person, but not premeditated. Okay, so it's not first degree, it's just second degree. Voluntary manslaughter with loss of control and legally justifiable provocation. Okay, so voluntary manslaughter, at that time, you lost control, your rage, you saw red and you killed that person, would be voluntary manslaughter. Involuntary manslaughter is unintentional without any wrongful act. So unintentional, maybe by mistake you pushed the person over the balcony and he died, but it was not because you intended to, but maybe you fell and pushed him over or something. Okay, and then you have no charge, justifiable in self-defense, so that you would go scot-free. Like if it was if you defend yourself saying that it was in self-defense, then you can go scot-free, because I mean, that is what is expected, right? You want to protect yourself, or maybe your children or your loved ones. Okay, so these are the few ways we look at a case, a homicide case. All right. All right, guys, Federico and Elisa, thank you so much for participating. I couldn't have done this without you guys, okay? And to those of you who are watching, I hope that you've learned a few things vocabulary-wise and grammar-wise, all right? Thank you so much. We're short of time now. Have a lovely day and see you soon. Bye.